I never get tired of that intro on here.
It's pretty good.
I mean, for just doing basic stuff, I can't remember the website I used, but it's still my favorite intro. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the awesome intro for Geeking Out. We're here to talk about The Last of Us. By the way, again, if you don't know who I am, I'm Winnie the Unknown. Welcome to another live episode of Geeking Out, where we basically discuss everything nerd and geek related. I am once again joined by my good friend Kira's Cosplay, and we are going to be talking about episode 3 for The Last of Us. Oh, so much deviation, but I honestly think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting something closer to what we saw in the game, plot wise, but I honestly have absolutely no qualms with what they did.
Oh, no, 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 no. And I thought they were going to keep the theme with the flashbacks at the beginning. Nope, they did it like,
Right.
I think, 10, 15 minutes in. And for an hour and 15-minute episode, despite what some people say about it, and I'm not gonna, put on any hate to those who haven't played the game or have played the game. I think how they turned out, how they, basically, Neil and I can't remember the other guy's name. They are making us feel for these characters who were like background, meaningless characters in the
Yeah,
game.
I have to confess, like, I always liked Bill in the game. Like, I thought it was interesting. He has his whole town under control. His banter with Ellie is good. But he was just
So
such a
good.
pain in the butt, and I never felt bad for him. And then this episode happened, and just
Oh no, like they like oh ah it stung. I'm not gonna lie. It stung.
yeah, just a
I
little
I
bit. It's fine.
just a smidgen. It's whatever. We don't really. I mean, and I gotta say though, it was actually it was actually nice. As much as I know that like in the game, it's mainly focused on Ellie and Joel. I'm
Hmm.
glad that the show is like, hey, we want you to see these other characters that really didn't have a whole lot to be offered, or just like, yeah, no, we don't care about these people. We don't care about these people.
Right. I definitely saw some reviews online because I thought that episode was lovely.
Oh
I thought it was
no, I
marvelous. I liked everything about it. And some people are like, they nuked Bill's character. I'm like, listen, it's the same character, different set of circumstances. Bill is, happy in the show.
oh yeah, Bill was
Bill,
just an angry, pissed off redneck in the game who
yeah,
just like was basically kept the entire town to himself. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm glad that we got more character development.
yeah, he deserved it. Although,
Oh,
I will kind of miss the fact that Joel was hanging upside down in
hi,
the
with the
game.
fridge. I don't like the level. I don't.
I'm a terrible shot, so
Oh no, it's either trying to
terrible
keep
at that
yourself
one.
alive or Ellie being attacked.
Yep.
Like, yeah. I mean, when we're first introduced, of course, we see Joel and Ellie, as per usual.
Hmm.
I will like though. I do like they kept some aspects from the game with still Ellie and Joel. Like when they go, like in the game, if you stop by that one shop, you'll see Ellie just freak out over that arcade machine called the Turning. I will like the fact that this is more real life.
Hmm.
In the game, it takes in these fictional places. Places that are based off of something building wise. But he's like, yeah, we kind of know what that is. But the fact that when they go into that store so Joel can get his weapons and put the machine gun away, the fact they have a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade game, I got really excited.
That was pretty hilarious. She was so excited to see it. I was like, oh, look at her. She's never played an arcade game before.
Well, I mean, she didn't. Well, actually, no, that arcade game was broken in the Left Behind DLC.
Yeah.
Because there is another mention of Riley. Like we're hearing about Riley also a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know who
I
Riley was. Like there was no mention of Riley's name at all until the Left Behind DLC came out.
right. I like the thought of Riley being included in the main series as far as the the television series goes, whereas like you could have played The Last of Us, the video
Oh,
game
oh
of
yeah.
this Riley.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Yes, as though we will be talking about, of course, The Last of Us. I forgot to add that little niche in for those who are, wondering if we're talking about the game or the show. We're talking about the show. Um, but yeah, no. I mean, like I said, we didn't get a flashback scene until way later when we see the crash plane, which I gotta say was a little nice touch.
Yep. Yep.
And then we find out what Federer would do to those who, when the QZs just got so much. That was dark.
That was that was pretty
Um,
dark. I don't
uh,
know what Ellie may have seen in a QZ, but I like to think this was her first time seeing,
like what happened to
the
those
real
who?
world.
I mean, she was born way after this,
Yeah.
so like seeing what happens to those who like are being evacuated from the town, and knowing the fact that that was a mother and child,
Yeah.
that like you see the bones, it's just like, because when it went back 20 years later, I'm like, oh, that is, Joel saying, well, this is what happens basically when QZs or wherever just gets overwhelmed. It's like, yeah, sorry, we're packed in, and basically, well, you can't come here, but we don't want you to get infected, so we're just gonna give you, we're just gonna push you out of your misery in the humane way.
Yeah. It really adds an interesting perspective that wasn't there in the game before. It was just you're in a
Oh
QZ or
no.
you're not.
Pretty much. I mean, we're learning. We're there. I imagine I'm kind of curious if this stuff was like stuff they originally had planned for the game, but like, no, we don't want to do that. We want it, more impactful action, not like, oh, we're gonna make you feel for all these characters. If you're not crying, there is something wrong wrong with you. Oh man, just they just don't give a damn. Seriously though, and then so we see this town being evacuated, and then Bill's basically in his underground bunker. His as Frank put it, his psycho bunker.
Yeah, definitely a doomsday prepper from the get-go.
He's not a prepper, he's a survivalist.
Ah, yes, that's the nice word, isn't it?
So what, you a prepper something?
Survivalist.
Survivalist. And casting Nick Offerman to play as Bill was, I honestly think, he kind of almost does look like Bill from the game
Yeah,
in a
I think it was
sense.
an excellent choice.
Except, not as, lethargic, and not as, much of a fuck around to find out type of person.
Definitely.
But just the montage though, it's like everyone's out, and we get to see Bill though wear the gas mask, because that's, we really don't get to see, we get to see like shadows of Bill when he's under his bunker. We really don't get to see. And then when he's
Right.
first introduced, he's wearing the gas mask, just like in the game when we're first introduced to Bill. He's wearing the gas mask and everything. And then it has probably the best montage scene where he's just like closing up the town off, going to these stores, going to Home Depot.
I loved him shopping in Home Depot, then the lights just went out. He's like, damn it.
Power must have ran out, and then he's just basically siphoning a bunch of gas and just did it. I can't remember. Did it show where if he got that giant big ass generator or not?
I have no idea where it came from, but I have to admit that was a really impressive generator.
That's got Adam in like an industrial generator.
Right?
It's just like, well, world's gone to shit. Everyone got evacuated from this town. I'm just gonna basically just close it all off and have no one come and just put all these traps, holes, and electric fence, and just like have a garden and feed
Clearly,
chickens and
Bill knew
just.
something that everyone else didn't. He's like, I'm not going to the QZ. No way.
Well, I mean, he's also. I mean, he's anti-government and everything.
Paranoid.
The government are all Nazis. See, they still keep. I feel like this is Bill, but like just cranked up a smidge
Yeah.
of Bill.
Bill, but with a little more dialogue.
Oh yeah, no. and it works in my opinion. We get to see again. I feel like Neil, and I still can't remember his name. I'm actually have to look that up. But yeah, Neil and the team were like, yeah, we're good. Like you don't really again like in the game. Bill helps us get this battery, and then Bill's left to his own devices. We don't hear nothing from Bill. I don't know if Bill's ever mentioned in the second game.
No, not as far as I remember.
I'm curious. I just need to know who else is behind this show real fast. I just like I lost my train of thought on who made this. I know Neil Druckmann is behind this, but who is the other guy? Created by Craig Mazin. Okay, yeah, he's the guy who made Chernobyl. But yeah, I feel like Craig and Neil are just like, yeah, we're gonna make you feel for these characters. We're gonna make you cry. And I think that's what Neil and Craig wanted to do is like you didn't really know much about these characters in the game, so you're gonna learn about them now.
Yeah.
They did it with Tess, they did it with Bill and Frank, and I guarantee they're gonna do it with Sam and Henry in the next episode because I was looking online. Apparently, the actors who play as Sam and Henry are gonna be in or 2 episodes from what I've seen.
Oh.
So like
Oh.
they're really gonna make us feel.
I'm gonna hurt a lot, and you know what? It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, no, and the one thing I like about um this episode is like it just we get to like I said we get to see Bill go see what basically Bill lived through this apocalypse up till like present day.
Mhm.
We get to see what Bill does when this first happens, and then 3 years later, he's introduced to Frank because
Right.
which it was nice seeing Frank and not a
Corpse hanging from the
from the
ceiling.
ceiling. Yeah.
I really liked that in the game, they kind of hint that he's gay, but the show did not pull any punches. They're like, "Oh, he's gay,"
Oh
and you're gonna
no.
do it.
Oh no, and it's not them being woke. It's like you said, it was hinted in the game from
Yeah.
Frank said and the way like how Frank said he was like saying the word partner like we made some people may not know, but like in the game Joel knew. You saw Joel's reaction like oh damn,
Yeah.
and then of course that magazine that Ellie had.
Yeah, the magazine's a dead giveaway. I was
I
surprised
didn't.
to get reviews after the show, and some people are like, "Oh, they made him worse because now he's gay. I had no idea he was gay in the game." I was like, "Really? You missed the
I
whole
mean, it
magazine moment?"
was. I mean, I didn't realize it at first, but when I replayed the game, it's like okay, because I didn't see what the magazine Ellie was looking at the
Mm-hmm.
time. But then I saw it. Go, oh, okay, yeah. There's a big, giant, naked, buff, strong man on the cover. And honestly, personally, it was nice to see this relationship. Some people were comparing Frank and Bill's relationship to Carl and Ellie from the Disney movie Up.
Ah, you know what? I'd buy that. Yeah.
I see it. So and it has probably one of my best lines when Bill is trying to Frank is trying to convince Bill for him to stay. Is like if you tell every bum if you leave and tell every bum everyone's gonna get a free lunch and this isn't an Arby's. Like Arby's doesn't do free food. They're a restaurant.
I loved that. I just loved that we got to see Bill happy
Oh
too.
yeah, not just an angry, pissed off
Yeah. I
psycho with
mean,
guns and
I know the world has gone to hell, but sometimes suffering just for the point of suffering can be kind of draining. And I was like, this is really refreshing, especially since the next episode is going to be an absolute shit show.
oh no, and I think what people need to realize about the zombie, this is a zombie subgenre, is that it's not just about fighting zombies and whatnot. So there are some people in apocalypse movies like this in games where they just try to live a normal life. Yeah, the world's gone to shit, but that doesn't mean we still can't be civilized and do what we want to do, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's definitely a misconception that I've heard people run into before. I'm like, listen, if you're playing or watching The Last of Us just for zombies, you should go watch The Walking Dead. because this is more about like the human story and humans interacting with other humans. So I really liked how,
Oh yeah, no.
simple and everyday life this episode was. It was really refreshing.
Yeah, no, like seeing Bill's and Frank's relationship just, go from like, I don't trust you, I want you to leave, to like, hey, why don't you come over for dinner and take a shower? And then, well,
Hmm.
oh, wait, you're playing piano. And the next thing, bam. Like, they just like, had like probably known each other for like an hour
Yeah.
in real time. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, okay.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
I'm not judging. And knowing that like both of the actors, I can't remember the other guy's name. I know he's like a British Australian actor. They did a phenomenal job.
I loved who they picked for Bill and Frank. I thought it was really great casting.
Oh no, it was really good casting. I'm not upset about that,
No.
honestly. And this is gonna be also a short episode because I do have another recording at 6:30, so we're gonna kind of skim through this. But like, I will also say it was nice to see, so it skips what 2010, and we get to see them. Oh yeah, like I said, the best line, and they did another fake out again when it skips to 2010, and you see Frank just walking out the door, all mad and everything. Like, oh, is this where we're like, because like in the game, Frank's tired of Bill's shit and he just wants to leave. Like, oh
Right.
wait,
And
are
then he
they? Are they?
leaves a nasty note. He's like, I've always hated you. You were terrible. I'm leaving with your
No,
shit.
yeah, well, fuck you too, Frank.
I really thought Frank was gonna pull a 180, and then he's like, "We're having guests."
We don't make friends. Well, I met a nice lady. You what?
I
and
love
then the
Frank.
scene just cuts to them having like a
I know
garden lunch.
it was great. I love how Frank is outgoing and social, and Bill is the
It's
total
like
opposite, and it works.
just like a gun at the table and everything. He doesn't trust. Like I get it. Bill doesn't trust anyone. He's spent like 3 years with his partner, and the next thing you know, he has to meet people. So far, he's the only person he's like been around with and everything
Right?
is has been Frank. So next thing he sees
Yeah.
these two people like, oh, I don't trust you.
I have no idea if you're gonna
But
come back later and try and raid my town, or if you're gonna try and shoot us over, you know,
oh
over
yeah,
Bill.
no, and I do like the scene with just seeing Joel and Bill just like awkward moment all around because
Two
someone was.
dudes not trusting each other.
Oh yeah, and someone pointed out that since the show takes place 2003, like gay marriage was never legalized at the time, so this
Interesting. Yeah.
end end of the world, no one cares. And I do like the fact that we do get to see Tess again, and
Yeah.
I do love the de-aging and the up-aging process they do
Yeah. They do a good
because
job.
we see Joel and Tess in 2010. Tess
Hmm.
doesn't look all roughed up, gray hair. She looks young. Same with Joel. So this is like 13. This is like 13 years prior to present day.
Right.
Again, which is really nice to see.
It's an apocalypse, and all Frank wants is a goddamn dinner party.
Well, he wants to go shopping, fix this plate, fix the winery, fix the boutique, fix the other store, and Bill's like, no, I like how this town is. I like how this town looks like shit. But he
I'm
also
with
wants.
Frank, honestly. I'm like, if I've got that much time, yeah, the store's getting a paint job. I have to look at it all the time.
Oh yeah, no. But I do like how Bill is accepting. Like, okay, fine.
Right.
I don't want. Mainly because as Bill said, he wasn't afraid until Frank came along.
Hmm. Which was so sweet. Oh my god.
Oh, it was. And then we jump another 3 years,
Right.
and then like by this time, Bill is like, okay, yeah, I don't mind Joel and Tess. They trade us stuff,
Hmm.
because someone pointed out, I guess, I'm guessing over the next 3 years, because it jumps to 2013, they've been trading with stuff. Bill has like everything looks fine. Frank traded a small gun for some strawberry seeds, which
Yeah.
I love. And seeing a man who's somewhat out of shape like Bill trying to run and with the guy fit. I'm not like body shaming or anything. That scene was hilarious. And of course, the strawberry scene was adorable, though.
Yeah. Now that was it was just fun to see Bill and Frank's different interests. Like clearly Frank likes to be active and Bill is like, I don't wanna, but begrudgingly out on a jog, and I'm like,
But it
that's
was worth
hilarious.
it, though. And then
Yeah. And the
my fit.
strawberries were super cute.
Oh
I'd
yeah,
be
no,
so
that
sad
was
if I could not have
that was
strawberries.
adorable. I do like Bill's reaction when it's like, wait, you traded a gun? What gun? Oh, don't worry, it's just a small one.
It was
We
probably
were
bazooka.
well, like it was a small gun, yet you see freaking Bill's wall of guns. Like you're concerned about a small gun, dude. You got like a fucking armory in your basement. I wouldn't even bitch
Yeah,
about
but
that.
that's Bill's armory.
Oh
Those
yeah,
are his
but
babies.
then we're introduced to one of the best scenes. I know in the game when it shows the traps and everything that the infected or like activating the traps. This one is Raiders,
Mm-hmm.
which is again they deviated.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining that they deviated because even at the ending scene, by the way, if anyone hasn't watched it too, there are a lot of spoilers for this. So highly recommend watch if you made it now. Okay, two of you gone. Okay, or, but I'm not complaining because seeing that scene where Bill's basically not only defending his home, but he's also defending Frank.
Right.
These guys come out of nowhere in the middle of the night during the pouring rain, which makes the
Mhm.
scene a whole lot better. Seeing guys being lit on fire from the traps, being getting electrocuted, and Bill's out there with a hunting rifle, just a hunting rifle in the rain with his hat, just fending them off.
But so Bill. I
Oh,
like that they swapped from, instead of using infected, I like that they used raiders, because definitely my concern, if the world were to go to crap, would be other people. Some people who just really, really enjoyed the chaos. And so I felt like that was a realistic choice.
oh no, that is real. Another thing I want to talk about, they've made this Ellie a lot more darker. Like that scene when she's, going underneath the basement thing to get the box of tampons and you see the infected and she just pulls out her
Yeah.
switchblade and just like, okay, that's a bit fucked up. She just like, slices its forehead and then just stabbed it like I'm not complaining. Like seeing like this dark Ellie it's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
In a good way though. Like,
I kind of viewed it as this is her first time, like, really seeing one up close, which is,
oh yeah.
probably pretty true, and it can't get her. And I definitely took the cut across the forehead as, are you human or not? Let's
Oh
find out.
yeah. Oh yeah, because there was that scene with her and Sam about him saying, "Hey, are they still human inside or whatever?"
Right.
Like, well, since cordyceps is a real thing, and for what I've seen, it takes over the muscles and the brain. So who knows? But like, just that scene, like, but I get it. But I get it when Ellie was in the search for something,
Mm-hmm.
and I imagine in the apocalypse that's the real basic need is like she's a she's a teenager. She's at that age where she needs. I'm not trying to get all into that, but I found that funny when she's just like, "Ah, yes, there you are." But hey, a woman's gonna need her basic needs in an apocalypse, you know.
Ugh. Yeah, honestly.
So that was a nice little scene. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so fast forward, and I was scared when Bill got shot. I was like, "No, please don't kill him off. Please don't kill him
Yeah, I
off."
thought they were doing a role reversal there of
Oh
Bill and
no, 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 no,
Frank.
no. It's like, no, we don't kill him off. And then it jumps to you know present day,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like this is where just things just like, yeah.
It got depressing fast.
Oh, like, hey, there's this wonderful love story. Bam! Psych! You thought we were gonna keep Frank alive. Think again, fuckers.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene hurt. That's just seeing, Frank slowly deteriorating. And again, the aging process made it
Mm-hmm.
look. I wasn't too convinced on the beard. For someone
Yeah.
who's worn a fake beard, and I know from someone who does cosplaying, I kind of want to ask, what was your thought on Bill's old age makeup? For someone who's done both makeup and cosplay and has,
Oh, it was fine through, the tears. It's nice and blurry.
and it's sad. Like, they've spent a total of 16 years by this point,
Right. It was a long time together.
and Bill hearing Frank that he's gonna die soon, and he wants Bill, like, to seeing the tears, like, no, why do this now?
Yeah, the seeing the paintings was rough. You see that one painting and half of it's like
Oh
very
yeah, like,
nice and shaded, and the
because
other
like,
side is like it's like a
I
kid
think
did it.
I think it's like, I'm not sure what kind of condition he has. I wasn't sure it was due to a stroke or what.
My thought was ALS, but what do I know?
Again, they whatever his condition was, they pulled it off really well.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was really sad.
it was sad. So, Bill telling Frank, keep the two mixed up. Frank telling, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to the boutique. I want to pick out outfits, and I want to get married. And I realized that the one thing I didn't realize at the time, the place they got married is by the piano where they shared their first kiss.
Is it really? Oh, you're right.
Their first kiss, the place where they had their first kiss is also the place where they had their last kiss.
Ugh.
I watched the clip again. I watched that. I keep on seeing that scene on TikTok, and I didn't realize it at first. Like, oh my god, yeah, that piano right there is. They're recreating they're slowly and then it shows all the places where they, like, throughout the years and everything, the hole that Frank fell in, and
And then the dinner that Bill serves them is the same as what he first met. Oh
yeah,
my god,
yeah,
no.
yeah. I didn't think about it at first, you know, like, okay, okay, he didn't put the wine in, and then it's like the other wine is like, you see Bill pour that thing, and you see, and just right there, I knew. I was like, oh my god, he didn't just pour it in his drink; he poured it in the entire bottle, as he said, enough to kill a horse. I was like,
I didn't
uh,
I saw it coming. I saw
mm-hmm.
it coming that they were both gonna die. I was just in denial until the bitter end. I was like, no, no, no,
No,
I'm both
no,
of them die.
like, yeah, Bill Frank was pissed, but he understood because, if he was to go, Bill would have nothing. Bill would just be
Yeah,
a wrecked man.
yeah.
And I can't imagine how Bill was in the game after him and Ellie and Joel dropped him off. Like, who knows what happened to Bill after that?
Mm-hmm.
Someone said that Bill is mentioned in The Last of Us 2, but I didn't hear any mere mention of that. So it's like, oh no. And someone was pointing out, how the end of episode 1, where that the music turns on.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, someone was pointing out, since Bill didn't reset the thing once a week, that meant trouble because
Ah,
it literally takes them a week to get to, or it takes them a week or two to get to Bill and Frank's,
right, right,
because by the time Ellie and Joel finally get there, we see the food rot,
right.
and while they're looking,
Been
and
dead for
what
a while.
and what really sad is, you see, like, before Ellie reads a note, you see Joel close the door and just, like, look all sad, like he saw,
Yeah,
because he was looking for Bill and Frank. So I can't imagine, what he saw. So
yeah.
it's kind of a recreation of when they discover Frank's body.
Mm-hmm.
There's the note, Joel, Ellie reading it, and then Joel had to be a little smart ass and put that, and then saying how we got to protect the ones that we love, and how he got to protect Tess, and
I
just
never
seeing,
liked you.
oh yeah,
What a Bill line.
oh yeah, no, and just like the fact that and then like seeing like Joel look at it and like see Tess's names, like it's clear that Joel and Tess were a couple, or there was something in this TV show.
Definitely.
They seem more like brother sister or friends in the game, but in this show they like, yeah, we're gonna kind of hint that Joel and Tess were a thing.
Yeah. Definitely partners in the show, but they could have just been business partners in the game.
Yeah, but still, like and please, and like when Ellie's like, please, whatever you do, don't open the door. It's a
Mhm.
grisly sight. We left the window open, and it's like I had a, I like I said, I rewatched that scene on TikTok when they were like looking through the place, and you see, oh damn, because the door that Bill and Frank go into after their suicide dinner is the same door that Joel looked into.
Hmm. So we definitely saw them.
Yeah, just
I love
why?
how they tidied it up though.
Hmm.
So even though Bill and Frank are both gone, there's still a car with a battery.
Oh
And
yeah,
they still ultimately get what they were there for. I was like,
the
wow,
be-
that was
the the best thing is that truck is the same truck that's modeled from the game.
is it really?
Yeah, except finding it, Fra- uh, Bill was like, Bill was preparing for this. He put the battery in the fridge
Hmm.
for Joel to charge, and then we get the best scene. I mean, there's also that word for word, after before Billy and Elle and Bill and fuck Joel and Ellie. God damn, I'm getting everyone's names mixed up. Where after they leave that state building before they go to Bill's place, how Joel was telling, don't tell anyone about your condition. You got to
Hmm.
follow what I say. Blah 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 blah
Hmm.
blah. That was almost a word for word shot.
Yeah.
Uh, after Ellie, read the note, and then we finally get the green shirt for Joel and Ellie's iconic shirt.
Was definitely a lovely nod towards the game.
And that shirt Joel was wearing?
Yeah.
That was Frank's shirt.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's the shirt that he was wearing when he was walking out of their house in a huff when he wanted
I'm
to
not crying, you're
redecorate.
crying.
But like seeing the iconic shirt was like the best thing ever. It's like, it's the shirt, it's the shirt.
It really is the little things, man.
It hurt. It stings though. And then of course Ellie gets that gun.
Hmm.
Because like the first two episodes of this one, I was like, can I? No, you can't. But there's a whole lot of fuck. No. So my thing is, that's the gun that Ellie's gonna use to save Joel when he's being nearly drowned by that hunter.
Definitely.
Because in
That's
the
definitely
game, she because we're getting to that point now, or we're giving our thoughts for the next episode. Overall, this episode was depressing. It was happy and whatnot, the fun, happy, loving episode. Then it's like, so what were your thoughts, and what was your expectation?
I was expecting something a lot closer to a recreation of what we saw in the game, and this like greatly exceeded my expectations. I totally loved it.
It still hurts, and I'm
Oh,
not looking
oh
forward
yeah,
to the next two episodes because
it totally hurts, but they got their bittersweet, happy ending,
oh,
and
they fleshed
they
them out in the
for
right
whatever they
way.
did. Yeah,
I mean, as Neil said in the behind the scenes, like, yeah, we're deviating, and that's okay. Like some deviations, I'm kind of like, yeah, but this, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
I really did enjoy the Bill and Frank love story. I did enjoy the nice little nods, but yeah, going on to episode two, we saw the trailer.
Hmm.
They nearly recreated that truck scene in the trailer when the guy's like, "Please help, Ellie, buckle your seat." My what? Your like Ellie did. Seeing Ellie's reaction to a truck is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Oh man, like she didn't know what a seatbelt was and
Oh, it
everything.
was so cute. Joel had to be a dad and help her out.
Like it's just, and then it still hurts. And then that window shot,
Hmm.
which is almost like a recreation from the main menu in the first game. Just
Yeah.
perfect.
I like how it was implied that it was in the room where they died, but we don't see anything.
No, and no, we don't. So episode 4, which is coming out in 2 more days. What are your
Ah!
potential? What are your thoughts, and what are you hoping to expect?
I think I've mentioned this every episode we've done, but I think this is
It,
the one I'm most excited for. Um, because if you've just seen it in the game, like this whole encounter is just absolutely
oh yeah,
outrageous.
I'm curious. It's a lot different from the game,
Yeah,
but like also still at the same time, some people are saying, I hope Joel says, "Oh, he ain't even hurt,"
yeah,
when he like mows down that guy. But
yeah.
like the fact that it's almost a recreation of the scene where the guy's just stumbling out saying, "Help,
Hmm.
help, I need help,"
Hmm.
and all Joel says in the trailer is like, "Just buckle your seat." I don't know. Joel may not say it, which
Yeah.
I don't care. As weird as that sounds, I don't want this to have almost every word for word from the game.
Yeah. I
I hate to sound like an asshole when I say that, but I don't want every word for word for the game because it just kind of like makes it like, you know.
no, I totally hear you. I'm playing the game side by side with the show, and if I'm getting all of the exact same dialogue from the game in the show, I'm kind of like, why am I watching it? They're just regurgitating what I just played.
Oh no, and I think that was Craig and Neil's like no, we don't, yeah, we'll have some lines from the game, but we're also
Mhm.
gonna have different lines, new lines.
Yeah.
I was happy to see though in the trailer how they show that souped up truck that they have to keep on running from.
Yes.
And like in the front of it, it said run.
There is just something about the Hunter City that is just so outrageous. I've, you know,
Oh yeah.
experienced my
And we're
fair
also
zombie media, and this is just probably one of the most unique encounters I've seen in all of them.
oh yeah. I mean, we're also
Absolutely.
introduced to a new character because we see this one girl in the trailer. I think her name is Kathleen or something. She's asking, where's so and so at?
Hmm.
I like the fact that we're also getting some newer characters that
Yeah.
weren't in the
And I
yeah.
know when they're going through the city, escaping the hunters, of course, like they do eventually run into Henry and Sam, who are
Mhm.
some of my faves. I love them so much, but I'm wondering,
How that encounter is going to turn out.
yeah, are we seeing anyone else in the city? Are we watching other people get caught in the city and dragged away? Like how many people are on the loose in this city running from hunters, and
Oh
how does
yeah.
Nelly interact with them?
Oh yeah, because we see like a few get mowed down,
Yeah.
and then we see Sam, and I'm curious on how Sam and Henry's interaction is going to go. And I'm also curious on how Sam and Henry's death is going to pan out.
Okay, so that one particularly, I
Well, like I
think
said,
I would like them to stay faithful to the game for that
oh,
because that would be impactful.
I'm sure it's going to, and I'm kind
Yeah.
of hoping we don't see how Sam got bit.
Yeah.
We just see his leg, so it's somewhere between when they get separated and when Joel's basically playing, sniper elite in the
Yeah.
window.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'm curious, and like from what I saw on IMDb, I saw the actors' names for Sam and Henry. They're going to be into 2 episodes, which they're definitely fleshing them out more. And they're like, yeah, we're going to make you feel for these characters before we kill them off. So
Thank God, because they need as much screen time as possible, and I will die on this hill.
oh yeah, no. I think that should do it. I'm really looking forward to episode 4, which comes out in 2 more days at 6:30, not 9 p.m. like I thought. It's like, oh god, I don't want to be at that late to watch. And I'm guessing originally, I'm sure they were going to make that one like a really long one, so it may be an hour long or not. We'll see.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
So yeah, I think that should do it for this live. Real quick, Kira, as I mentioned before, would you like to promote yourself by letting people know where they can find you on social media?
Yeah, you bet. If you guys want to see the cosplay stuff I do, my name is Kira's Cosplay on Instagram.
And Facebook, right?
Yes, and Facebook. I forget
Do you
about
have a
that
TikTok?
sometimes.
Do you have a TikTok as well? It's the
I
new
have
trend.
TikTok, but I am not on it.
That is completely valid. And be sure to look out next week at this time at 5:30 as we discuss episode 4 next
Where
week.
I will absolutely lose my mind.
You'll see Kira with a box of tissues in her hand, just like.
Steven and Henry the Hunters, oh my goodness. Just like that.
Well, as always, I am Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.